take a second to show up. Meeting is being live streamed. Got it. Hey, that's a new warning. They didn't used to warn me. Maybe people were complaining that it went live before they were ready. But we should be live now, so I'm going to pop open the chat. Let me know if you ever lose your admin privileges, Shay, and I'll reinstate it.
Thank you.
But it should be working fine. So this is another episode 100, right?
Yep.
Every single one. So it'll be the best episode 100 so far.
You know what? I want to go back and go to JJ's channel and just, you did like the scroll thing and bring all the videos out and do a search for Prepper Trifecta and figure out exactly how many episodes in.
Did JJ's, and then we'll have to do that to mine. And then we did at least, did we do one on yours or two? But your internet wasn't working great, but I think we tried at least one or two on your channel.
That's right, probably. Yeah, figure out exactly where we're at. We should make it a gamble. Like, where do you think we're at? Where do you think we're at?
I think we're over 100 now.
Wow.
But that might be too many, because I mean, if we do one a week for a while, were we doing it for 2 years?
Well, that would be 100 right there, right?
If we were doing it weekly for 2 years, yeah. But I don't know if we really were.
Showcase how good my math is. Just
right.
One video a week.
Carry the two.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Prepper Trifecta. We have I hope it's going to be a regular.
Returning guest at the very least.
Guest. Yes, Daniel, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, buddy. I COVID free. I just thought I'd throw that out there. But that's because I'm double vaxxed.
No.
Yeah, it's all safe. One thing that I was really kind of hoping, being double vaxxed, that my fingers would eventually grow back, but unfortunately, I'm still missing them. So
yeah, you're missing fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I don't really talk with my hands, right?
Yeah.
Because if I start doing sign language, it looks like I'm swearing because I'm missing all those fingers, right?
You're like, he misspelled it. You get a typo in sign language.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah, so maybe you'll grow back, but it just won't be on your hand. You'll get like an ass finger or something.
Oh,
somewhere else.
What do you think is going to happen with? Go for it. What are you going to say?
Oh, I don't remember, but we titled this Omicron, we're all going to die, because we were just joking pre-show about how all the videos everyone seems to be making these days are also, oh my God, it's over, and Omicron's the current thing. So just to talk briefly about that, it appears that all the evidence is pointing to it being much less serious than even the regular version or variant, I guess, which is usually what happens in the natural progression of viruses, is they become more easily transmissible, but less, not viral, what's the word? Just less strong, less fatal. And that's good, because you will still usually get immunity from it if you contract it from this lesser version, which will also protect you from the other versions usually. It depends with something like a flu type virus, it is always mutating, but it definitely appears that it's not as bad as even the original, let alone Delta variant or whatever.
The one source, and maybe we can pick your brain. Agreed. Certainly co-sign that, Eric. Daniel, maybe we'll get your take as well. There was one source that I used to follow religiously when this first came out. His name was, I gotta butcher his name. Chris something. Maybe somebody in the chat will say.
Martinson?
Yes, Martinson, exactly. He's the epidemiologist. And he had a great video not too long ago showing that Omicron was substantially more contagious.
Right.
But they cross-referenced it with the number of deaths. The number of deaths seemed to be the same pre and, with respect to pre-Omicron and where we are now. So you're right. I don't think it's going to be as severe. Some governments are reacting like it is going to be, but
yeah, I think they're using it. Honestly, I don't think they're just to be able to be like, oh no, look out, you need your 15 boosters or whatever.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing I heard lately related to COVID was that I don't know if you guys saw that Dr. Kevin McCullough is like one of the most cited doctors in like whatever his field is, cardiology and epidemiology. He has like the most journal entries of any of them. He was on Joe Rogan podcast, and the most interesting thing that came out of that to me was that he said that there has never been a confirmed case of someone getting COVID twice. That he doesn't think it's even possible, that the natural immunity is that good, and no, it's never been proven that you can actually get it again. That people have tested positive again, but that's a result of either the PCR test being inaccurate or the latent like spike proteins or whatever, that you can actually test positive later, even though you're not, contagious or aren't sick with it, that it'll still just like pop on the test. But that there's never been anyone that has been proven to have it twice, which that was pretty interesting to me.
That's actually good. Well, that would change everything, wouldn't it? Because once
if it's like he thinks it's like your natural immunity would be almost perfect for years, if not decades.
Daniel, great province of Alberta.
Go Berta.
What's the feeling you get out there with your local governments and whatnot with respect to lockdowns?
You know what? What do they have to gain by doing another lockdown? Like,
yeah,
they must know that, everyone's getting fed up, even people that are vaccinated, because, when we first heard about the vaccinations, they're like, yeah, you're just going to have to get this done. It's going to be, 2 vaccines and you're going to be good to go. And, people are like, well, all right. I wasn't even going to do it myself personally. I was like, you know what? I don't really trust too much of what's going on. But then in the back of my mind, being in the Army for 25 years, the amount of stuff that they pumped us full, and really, I didn't have too many adverse effects. And, I was like, I'll try it out and see what happens. Just like the H1N1. And I had a few side effects, but anyway, getting back to what your question is, what do they have to gain now? Because they know people are getting upset. They know that they're not going to. A lot of people are going to start rising up. Maybe that's their thing. They want people to rise up so they can kind of fill the agenda. Because I know in Canada they want to take away our firearms. So maybe they're trying to do all these things for, some whack job to say, screw it, I don't want to put up with this stuff anymore, and finally do something where something is getting called in, whether it be more police, more military, even maybe more military from somewhere else to come in.
I definitely think that's in their mind. I don't know if that's the reason why it's happening, but they're certainly going to use it to their advantage. Like, it could be something, that extreme, all the way down to the fact that they just don't want to admit that they're wrong. I think there's a little bit of all that in there. And a lot of the stuff that they're doing now, these rules that they've made, even as far as the companies getting these vaccines authorized and being able to sell them, is based on like these emergency authorizations, the states of emergency, which if they kind of say, oh, it's done, then a lot of that stuff would have to go away. So I think heightening that, like, oh, we don't know yet, it could be another, like, they have to just kind of keep the fear level high to justify everything that they are doing and have done.
Yeah. Being from Canada, we're all supposed to be all, hey, yeah, sorry this, sorry that. Pretty soon it's going to be fuck you're sorry. We're coming to sort this shit out.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, especially in Alberta, man, like, you can see it. People are just getting so sick. And I was in the mall today, and half people had masks on, the other half, didn't have the mask on, but nobody was saying shit because they either didn't want to deal with it or they didn't want, the problem.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I've heard even in countries like Austria and Europe where they're starting to get really strict with it, people are starting to get pretty fed up, and you're seeing the rates of each new booster, the number of people that get it is way lower. Like, for all the people that got the first shot, most of them got the second, only about half of that got the booster, and then even less of them got the next booster. And in Italy, they were going to mandate some vaccine for, I think it was the police or some union, and then the building where they were storing them all mysteriously burned down overnight. So people are getting fed up with it, luckily.
People are getting sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
You mentioned the firearms, Daniel. That's going to be a hot topic here in Canada in May, as you're aware, just for the audience. And I think we talked about this when it happens back on the Trifecta, May 1st, 2020. The government at the time came up with a huge list of firearms that said we're basically banning all of these firearms. And for legally law-abiding firearms owners, we're going to give you a 2-year amnesty. So we're going to be coming up to that real soon. It's basically a delayed theft, as it's been described. Unfortunately for me, I lost all my firearms in a tragic boating accident, and all of them
sorry to hear that.
are all at the bottom of a lake. So
that's unfortunate.
It's an unfortunate incident for me, but what's your take on that, Daniel? Because it's going to be coming up soon. It's a pretty hot topic.
So here's what I think is going to happen. That amnesty period is going to come up. I believe it's the end of March, and then beginning of April is when it's be like, okay, we want your firearms. Where are they going to start it off? Like, and you know, we're in a position right now where, you know, where he said he's going to give us fair market value for our firearms, which is not going to happen. The inflation is so bad that, you know, they've been spending money left, right, and center because of the.
It's going to be. Yeah, sorry, man. Because of the what they've been paying out for because of the pandemic. Right.
And well, you know, I have an AR-15 that's worth about $1,300. Am I going to get fair market value of it? No, I'll probably get 150. Yeah, sorry about your luck. My plan is I'm just going to chop it up in the itty bitty pieces and say, hey, I did the work for you. Now you can give me the money for it, extra money for destroying it for you.
Because I did part of the work too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's going to be, you know, what are they going to go door to door? Well, they don't have enough police for that. Are they going to? Well, are they
I'm assuming they'll just wait. They'll say now they're all legal, and if we ever catch you with them, it's going to be tacked on. I seriously doubt they'll try to go door to door. They might send someone to ask certain people, like, "You're on record as having them. You got rid of them, right?" You know, but who knows?
Well, aside from the buyback program, according to the RCMP website here, you can either have it. You can have the buyback. You won't get fair market value. They're not going to respect. If you got an SKS, it's all dressed up.
Yeah,
you know, you're not going to get what it's actually worth. The other two options are to have it deactivated by an approved firearms business, or you can legally export them, apparently. But some options aren't looking too good. Eric's got a great story. We talked about this a couple of years ago, where I think it was the state of California had some sort of buyback program. They didn't care. So what one guy was bringing in
they have they have these buyback programs to try and get guns off the street, and they have to make them like amnesty, you know, like because a lot of these guns are owned illegally or the guns themselves are illegal. So, and they want you to turn in all sorts of guns. So he made basically zip guns out of like a block of 2x4 with a pipe, and so that you could have used them with 12 gauge rounds, and he had to show that they were functional. And they had to pay him $50 each, and he said he made them for like $6 each, and had like seven of them. And the cops were so salty.
Well, it was just like in Toronto, they had a buyback program, I believe, and I think they were given $300-400 a handgun.
Yeah,
and guys were going in buying these Tokarovs.
Like rusty $100 to $150.
Oh yeah, $150 for these Tokarovs, and then turning them in and making tons of money. Like it's just, yeah, they just don't think. Well, some of the things that are on the ban list were like AIM-9 missiles, and you know, it's like
RPGs and stuff.
You know, even if you have access to the you know, the dark web. Maybe you could buy an AIM-9 missile, but where are you going to launch that from? You know, your backyard?
Yeah. Like,
oh man, it's just
battery in your backyard.
Well, they even had airsoft weapons on that ban list. I know we're kind of getting off topic, but
we can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, good. Well, good point. But it's crazy. Like it's just absolutely no thought into it. Like
they just want to eventually get rid of all of them, so it doesn't matter how nonsensical it is.
Saved by Christ.
I think
I'm allergic to propaganda. Let's just read in the comment. Yes, Daniel. dude,
Sorry.
do you
So
feel
this is
like
my airsoft AR-15
Yeah.
that they want to get rid of. Like it's electric. It fires
what?
off the battery system, and it's
Yep.
big and scary. So they want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Stupidity.
Right. Yeah. I had one that I found in a storage unit that was actually a .17 caliber pellet gun, but it was exact replica of the SIG AR-15. And when I first saw it, I was like, "Fuck yes," because I've never actually found a gun in a storage unit before when buying them at auction, and I thought it finally happened, and I was like, "Yes!" But it ended up being just a pellet gun, but it still sold for like $200.
Oh wow!
Cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Daniel, dude, do you feel like doing a tour of your or another time? You want us to reserve for another time?
Maybe for another time. It's
Sure.
it's apparently the only thing I really have in here that that AR-15 that I showed you there, it's the it's an airsoft weapon. The only other AR-15 that I have that I'm giving back is this guy right here, the one I already talked about. Yeah, see that there? It's just it's a tiny little thing, quite possibly my most favorite gun in the world. But I figure, I'll chop it up in 1-inch pieces all the way down, and then when I give that back to them, they can have it in pieces.
Well,
Because
I was going to say,
go
if you are actually planning on having to destroy one and you don't lose them first in any boating accidents or anything like that, I'm assuming that it's similar in Canada to how it is in the U.S. with the fact that lower receivers would actually qualify as a gun. So you could at the very least take everything else off and sell that, get your value back out of it, and just chop up the lower receiver. But I don't know if maybe in Canada it's different with what's restricted.
They want the whole weapon. So
really, so you can't just give them the gun, because that is like in the U.S. the lower receiver is the gun.
Right. Yeah, they want the upper and the lower, which it sucks because I'm sure a lot of guys have a lot of different hardware. Like the sight alone is worth
Right.
$500, and then
exactly.
The extra hardware, the mag pull, all that good stuff. It's just why?
Yeah, it's so
again.
stupid.
Another thing that could happen, it could just be delayed in the courts for another couple of years, and then it's just, I don't know. We could be in the full blood apocalypse by then. So
Right.
Maybe hopefully a little bit of luck. When the what is it, the Omega variant finally comes out in 2024, what they're talking about, according to the Simpsons, of course.
Right. Yeah. Well, at the very least, I hope you get at least a delay sometime to not have to destroy stuff.
But I don't know, man. It's one of those things. You just don't know what's going to happen, and it's Be ready, I guess. Be ready for what has to happen.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Certainly going to be an interesting day when that happens. May 1st, 2022 in Canada. I wait to see logistically how they're going to put it together. Saved by crisis. I'm allergic to propaganda. City Prepper 016, and just touching on the firearms thought process for a second here, even further, suggest to look at Australia. And I don't know much about Australia. I know they took all their firearms away, and I know they did something in the UK. I think it was, I want to say London, where they removed all the firearms, and suddenly they noticed the knife crimes just went like through the roof. And I think the data, or at least what the data was suggesting, was that it doesn't matter what you remove. If there's a disproportionate number of violent people in society, there's still going to be violence, irrespective of certain things are banned or not. They're just going to find different methods to be destructive, perhaps.
Yeah.
Good. Your thoughts, Daniel? Oh, we lost Daniel. He's on TikTok.
Oh no, sorry. I was just reading some of the comments there. Yeah, could you imagine doing a TikTok video while I'm just sitting in the background
doing a TikTok dance?
Yeah. Why does he have no pants on?
Yeah, exactly. Is that twerking?
Shit, sorry, I didn't know the camera was still on. Sorry, it's just, it's crazy. how some of this stuff is going to transpire. It's, I heard they want to take Christmas away to some people in Manitoba again. And, some people are actually saying, yeah, well, we got to do this to flatten the curve. And I'm not going to, hang out with my family members because some aren't vaccinated. I'll tell you right now, if any of my friends aren't vaccinated, they got nowhere to go during Christmas. They're more than welcome to come here. I'm having steak and lobster. So,
Wow.
Right on.
Very cool. All right. I actually have a couple of memes this week.
I have a few too.
All right. And I don't know if we did this last time with Daniel on board or not. It's a little
I don't think we had them. Yeah. Well, I got one more thing we can cover before we do memes.
Sure.
Totally unrelated, but it's not just Canada doing a bunch of stupid stuff. The California government has just passed a law banning small gasoline engines of almost every kind for emissions purposes. Yeah.
No.
So generators, lawnmowers, everything. They have to be all electric by like 2022. It says the state claims an hour using a gas leaf blower makes as much pollution as driving a 2016 Camry 1,100 miles. So it's electric lawn equipment only after 2024. And that eliminates like little dirt bikes, and even gas-powered electric generators are like wrapped up in that. So it says the new law, AB 1346, will require the state to adopt regulations around these gas-powered tools by July 1st, 2022, and ban their sale by the start of 2024 if the board determines it is feasible. Yeah, pretty ridiculous.
Well, I guess it's good news for you. You're so close. We've got a discount on all sorts of generators.
Exactly. They'll flood over the border, and it might be a great time to start buying them in the next couple of years. But interesting. I haven't read the actual law, the text of it, so I'm not sure if it's just banning the sale and if the use will actually be banned for people who already have them. I would probably still, if I had one already, I don't think I would sell it if I lived in California, because you're only going to use it in an emergency anyway. And
what would their logic behind that be? Like,
it's totally based on their bullshit emissions environmental stuff, because they had similar laws that they passed recently where you can't use semi trucks to deliver in California if they're older than like 2014 or something. So there's tons of these big rig delivery companies and drivers that like now can't pick up or deliver in California. It's causing huge problems and huge delays.
Like, that just blows ridiculous. My mind, because I'm sure India or China or, those high pollutant countries are giving up their gas engines and
right.
That's
that's a stupid thing. Yeah, it's like the when they talk about like global warming and all these accords that all these countries have to sign. Like the US doing anything, any type of changes, even if we drop to like zero emissions, it barely makes a dent when you consider what China and India are doing with like no restrictions, dumping trash and toxic chemicals into water. All it does is push our production to them because they don't follow the rules. They're not following the same standards. So we just can't make anything anymore. And they do it, and they're doing even more polluting than we would if we make it. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, because China always manages to get themselves considered a developing nation, so they get counted under these lesser restrictions.
Yeah, and then you get these. Well, excuse my French, but you get these kids that never got their ass swatted,
right?
For being bad. And they're like, oh yeah, our country is so bad at polluting,
right?
While they're talking on their phones, hanging out in Starbucks and expecting their parents to have the heat up to, drive me to the rally or drive me to the protest. And, it's just like, what the heck are you guys doing? Like, it's man. I can't wait. My daughter's 8 right now. I think I'm raising her right, but the day that she says, oh, we're polluting too much is the day it's like, all right, well, guess what? I'm getting rid of, your phone, your Xbox.
I'd be like, you just tell like, you know what? You're right. We're going to make your environmental impact almost zero. You can't go in the car, can't use the electricity of the internet, can't use your phone, can only use natural clothing and products and stuff. So no synthetic fibers. Yeah.
Can we order pizza? No, we got to go out.
It's not sustainable. Yeah, you got to have something sustainable.
No. I don't think that'll ever happen. I'm pretty sure she'll befriend some beatnik fucking hippie that will come to the house and say, "Oh, I don't agree with that," and as I'm throwing them out by their scruff of their collar, we'll do it that way. But man, how is it that people can think that they can get rid of all this stuff and live in in an Alberta weather system where it's like could get to minus 50 with the wind chill out here? Like, it's just that's Celsius, not that gay Fahrenheit that you used in the States.
Yeah. I was just reading this article though on that California law, and here's a loophole. It says the law will not affect the sale of most gas-powered recreational vehicles and dirt bikes, because the definition of the engines that they're going after is spark ignition engines rated at or below 90 kilowatts or 25 horsepower. So you just have to get a big ass generator, more than 25 horsepower, put like a motorcycle engine on there instead of a little 5 horsepower one. So you can have a big ass, and that's the hilarity of these types of rules. Like, someone who might have wanted to get a little generator and pollute a little bit is now like, fuck it, I'm getting a 25 horsepower generator now, and it's going to belt smog into the atmosphere.
It just makes sense because there could be a large number of people that are just going to up there, where the energy may have only been required, like 5 horsepower is plenty.
Right.
So now they're going to, it can have the adverse effect, which is they're going to pollute, like you're just saying, it's going to pollute even more.
Leaf blowers are now 25 horsepower.
Unbelievable.
Instead of like 2.5.
I sent you a link, Eric. I think we'll do a quick 180 here, if you don't mind sharing that screen in a second while Eric's setting that up. Daniel, you're into guns and all that, knives and stuff like that. This is a blade from a company called Knife Center. This is on Tanner's websites or Tanner's Facebook feed. He's the knife guy, prepper guy. I don't know if you've seen him. All like 90% of it
sounds familiar.
Most of his videos is he just talks about knives, and he brought up this Borka Blade Custom Ontario M9 bayonet knife.
And $900.
Yeah, that's the trick.
Better be a hell of a knife.
Is
that based off the US M9 bayonet?
I guess it's looks like a clone. There's nothing particularly special about it. It's 420 modified steel, it's a very common cheap steel made in China. And
it's a softer steel, right?
Plastic. It's this black handle, so it's just like, you know what I mean. Usually, if it's a higher quality handle, it's going to be G10 or micarta or something like that. Right. Just this black handle, whatever that means.
Black handle, black plastic sheath. It doesn't even have like Kydex sheath. They're just black plastic.
Yeah, exactly. So somebody screwed up there pretty bad. I'm surprised that it's
maybe they misplaced a decimal point. Maybe it's supposed to be 8950.
Oh, there you go. Probably. But I wonder if they got any orders for that. A $900 knife.
It's in stock, so. So they didn't sell out.
Yeah.
That's funny. Inflation's really taken off already.
I was thinking about it. It's like that website. I can't think off the top of my head there. It's Etsy or I don't know, some hippie thing that they had. You could buy a thing of wood. It was like $400. It's like just something that you could chop a tree down, and it was for the life of me I can't think of the website, but I was just like, oh my god, like who would go out and buy the authentic piece of wood, and then it's like probably some rich Hollywood type. Hey, look, I got a piece of Canadian lumber that
what
chopped
really
down
seriously.
It's just you see that thing on Facebook sometimes where it pops up. Hey, buy this, buy these pieces of wood for it's just an astronomical price, and you're like, who would do that?
Yeah, I don't think it'll just be some like Ford rough cut, and they'll be like real wood $400, and you're like, what?
Oh yeah, you see all these blown down barns that are I don't know if that's out in the States or out in Ontario but you see these barns have been blown over, and then people come and gather the wood that's maybe good for a fire pit or whatever, and then they're selling it at Home Depot for $25 a sheet or sometimes $50 a sheet, and it's just like it's this old rotted out wood that's nice and authentic that you can put in your house and
make a board out of it that says "Live, Laugh, Love" or something on it.
Oh, it's just, yeah, it's crazy, man. What a time to be alive, my friends. What a time to be alive.
Well, I see two business opportunities. Arvec 826 my mowers at 26 horsepower. So I wonder if there's like industry's going to jump on this and start selling 25.
Like everyone has to get riding lawnmowers for their tiny little lawns just to get the horsepower properly up there.
Yeah, I think there's
no low ballers. I know what I got. Dude, it's like that with the used vehicles have been pretty crazy out here, and especially in Vegas. Any pickup and certainly anything with 4-wheel drive is just astronomical. It'll be like a 95 Ford Ranger, 280,000 miles. They're like, started when last time I tried, battery's dead now, $8,500, and you're like, what the shit? Like firm, 8,500 firm.
Yeah.
Like, how about I give you a cup of rice in 2 years? Trade it for that.
Okay. It's California certainly leading the way with lunacy, that sort of twilight zone between lunacy, political policies, and reality. So good luck, California. That's all I gotta say.
Exactly.
All right, we are at the halfway mark, and I would like
some of these memes.
Sure.
Or do you want to have your scenarios?
Yes, here's one. Insert segue clip now. There we go. Okay, here's the scenario. So we're both of you gentlemen.
All right.
AOC, you got to bug out with her for 2 weeks in the woods. You're doing, I don't know, just say 10 kilometers a day. You've got to trek with her, or the alternative is Nancy Pelosi for 1 week. Same thing.
What was the first one? How many weeks?
2 weeks with AOC. Or
are you responsible for them surviving? Like if I'd pick Nancy Pelosi because I assume she would die the first day and then I'd be free. But if I have to keep them alive, then obviously I'm going to choose AOC because then she's younger. She would actually make it. I don't know if Pelosi could go 10K a day.
Yes, you'd be responsible for their life. Okay,
she's older and uglier, so I go with the young one.
Oh, would you actually consider doing something with AOC?
I mean, if it's a false dilemma, it's a false dilemma, but I have to choose one or the other. I'm going to choose her.
No, fair. What I'm saying is, if you and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, lights are coming on, it's you and AOC, and you got you've had your 6 beers.
Right after a few days in, probably.
Yeah, all right. I can sign off. Done. All right, Daniel, your take, sir.
That's Pelosi, baby. I'll let you drink that. I'll let you drink that so you don't spit this all over your room.
Yeah, right.
Well, what is she? She's 95 years old. She's a skeleton. So if I have to carry her ass anywhere, I could keep her alive. I'm sure I could, breathe candy cane breath into her mouth. Maybe let her
have to pour some whiskey into her mouth to keep her going.
Oh, it's perfect, man. And if I have to carry her anywhere, she's got to be 55 pounds, maybe. So
she's probably pretty frail.
Yeah. And then, she can be Little Spoon every night. So,
and it's only a week then, right?
So. Yeah, exactly. Yes. And, I could tear up Trump address every time, wakey, Nancy, rip. Let's go.
Okay.
So what about you, Shay?
Here, Nancy Pelosi, I'm torn. Daniel's got a great argument. She's 81, born March 26, 1940. 1.6 meters in height. We should know what that is in feet. And I'm trying to find her weight here too. She does look ridiculously skinny, small. So
what's a bag of bones weigh?
Yeah, maybe somebody in the chat could put it's 5 feet 2 inches.
So
whatever it is.
She's what 160 centimeters? Is that what you said?
1.6 meters. Yeah, 1.6.
That's 63 inches. So it's 5'3".
Yeah, Pelosi, I'd take her for 1 week because I'm just thinking about duration. I guess the conundrum is either duration of time versus having to deal with his health as individual, survive the apocalypse?
I don't know. I think I'll take AOC for the longer time, and I think I can turn her.
Wow. I don't know. I don't think she's that attractive.
No, I mean like politically. I can turn her.
Oh, politically.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, yeah. I actually had a thing on it was just, I want to keep this PG-13 as much as I can, but woman that preferred the company of other women.
Yeah.
And it was Jodie Foster. Which one would survive the apocalypse? She won this sort of dilemma. Long story short, I had somebody comment, said, just give me one night with Jodie on now. I'll convert her, right? So I gotta say Pelosi. Pelosi wins.
All right, interesting.
Do you want to retort? Do you want to counter
it?
No,
I'm solid. I stick with
right.
my answer.
Just sticking with it. Sticking with AOC. All right. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. All right, memes are up. I'm gonna email you mine.
Okay, I'll go through mine really quick first.
Cool.
I think there might be a couple repeats in here because I don't remember last time if I showed all the Kyle Rittenhouse ones that I have.
Yeah, good old Kyle, man.
Yeah. But I showed some of them, so there might be some repeats. They're not all related to that, but let me see if I can share screen. All right, so here's the first one. I don't know if I shared this one yet either. It said the year is 2040. You're eating from your weekly ration tube of cricket paste in your self-driving electric car that only allows you to get to work and back. You get home and greeted by your non-binary they friend as your child comes in. It comes in and says thinking is a crime. So wholesome.
California.
Yeah, and then next up we got when I ask someone to wake me up in the morning and they actually do it. Kids all pissed off. And then we got gun guys then. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Gun guys now. You know that's illegal, right? Too true. And this is me trying to hold my tongue when the conversation gets political.
Is that really you, Eric?
No comment.
I know, right.
Become ungovernable. Don't follow the rules. And then we got, Mom, Dad, I'm gay. And he says, that's okay, son. Yes, we love you no matter what. He says, yeah, it's not like you have a 40 cal or something. And then it shows him with a box of 40 under the table. And he's like, Dad. And he's like, oh no. Which it's just funny to me that 40 cals get so much hate. I don't prefer them, but I don't know why some people think they're like the devil incarnate. And then we got, this is a crypto thing. So if it makes no sense, I can't explain it. It says before Pancake Swap, let's invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum for our kids' brighter future. And then after Pancake Swap, hopefully this cum doge in your rocket token makes a 10x or times 1,000 so I can get back to green after my last 7 rug pulls. Oh, man. And then we got, I can't believe you didn't cry during the Titanic. Do men even have feelings? And here he is getting all misty when Kyle Rittenhouse non-guilty verdict comes in. And then they have, so a pedophile, a domestic abuser, and a burglar all walk into a bar. Kyle says, shots are on me. And then we got, hey, friend, I know the world looks scary right now, but we're going to win. There's Kyle again. And then we got eliminate one place. And there's the ATF in the middle.
Right.
I think I showed that one already, but I had to include it just in case.
I don't remember that one.
And then we got a target with the guy with the skateboard from the Rittenhouse.
That's awesome.
I know, we should make those. And then we got when you're home alone eating fried chicken in the shower and you hear a noise. Makes no sense. Like a good trigger discipline though. And then we got sometimes all a person needs is that one missing piece, and it says another ounce of gold. And we have sorry folks, you need a vaccine passport. Our customers only like catching COVID from the fully vaccinated.
It's John
and we
Kennedy.
Got me avoiding the depopulation jabs, and he's like diving out of the way. And then you got getting my 4th vax, me too. And they're like, oh. All right, that's it.
That's all hilarious. That last one was
hilarious.
That's funny. All right, I got like 3, I think.
Right,
one of them's a raccoon animation I came across years
ago. It's an animation?
And it's a GIF.
Okay.
So it's a brief animation. It's from
all right, let's see it.
Yeah, it's I don't remember how I came across it. And I heard a story about a hacker that apparently uploaded it to somebody's computer multiple times.
That was the extent of their hacking, was to spam them with this
just to
cartoon.
yes, with the same GIF. So that's all all I care to say.
All right, let's see it.
Hopefully you can share it.
Did you send it?
I say emailed it to you. Yes,
you emailed it to me. Okay, I was
email.
all right, let me see if it showed up.
All
right, here we go.
Funny. We're just waiting.
Yeah, they're staring at each other. All right. All right, let me see if I can download these. I'm gonna have to download them real quick, and then I'll throw them in that folder.
Lady T survival. If you use Pelosi for cut bait, you will poison and contaminate the fish. They will be inedible. Oh, all right. Pelosi for cut baits. Hi, catfish from Steve Hall. Yeah, I don't know if I would do that. There was this show alone, and I think it happened in the first season. There was a contaminated bird, and the participant or contestant just threw the bird out. I was like, wow, it's gone. It's too far gone.
They didn't even use it for bait or anything. Yeah.
Could have used it for bait. To catch fish or whatever.
So here we go. This is I'm about to share screen for these are Che's memes, so I can't be given credit for them. First we have what looks like the cast of Seinfeld with like the Snapchat filters.
Yeah. super cool. Neat.
The Kramer one definitely looks the most different.
Yeah, George is rocking it.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, what else we got? The car behind me when I try to drive at night. Massive spotlight. Seriously. And then you've got what the predator sees after 15 seconds of chasing me, the joint inflammation. Like, All right, and then we got why isn't it playing?
Well, I guess it's not. It's apparently it's not working. It's
supposed to be a GIF, right?
Here,
let me see if I can
I'm not sure why it's not working.
If I can just open that one.
They might be able to open it
See
in a
if
browser.
that works. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can open it on a new. Just a second.
We should probably have a disclaimer at the beginning of the show, just for the language and the content.
Yeah, right. I think people know by now.
The following images may find disturbing.
Let me see if I can get it. All right.
Yeah, formal
what the hell is this? It is it working?
I think your face is in the way. Yeah.
My face?
Yeah, it's because it's in the top right of the corners. Maybe resize the browser.
Oh shit!
I think people can see it. So that's
you see that now? It's just a giant raccoon with huge balls.
You know what? Maybe this is a little too far. You know, maybe we don't want to see this one actually.
All right.
Think about it.
All
Obviously
right.
triggered something with Daniel there. I heard some clicking there.
He is like all out of there. Right click, save as.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, you got something against raccoons.
How did you know about my raccoon suit?
I quickly grabbed this. I was like, I'm ready. But
there it is. All right. My screen got messed up for a minute. But yeah, that was funny.
Thanks for sharing. Hey, folks, if you got memes, what do you email myself or Eric? I'm at info@ontariopreppers.ca. Eric, rulethewasteland@gmail.com.
Correct.
And send us your memes.
Yep. And if you have any other goofy scenarios that you want us, we can't guarantee that they're all going to make it on air, but if you have some what if or what would you rather do semi-prepping related, send those too.
I think, like I was telling you guys before we started this, I started, my daughter got me on this TikTok, and sure, I was watching videos and stuff, and then sometimes I'd post something of me flying a drone around, and then I started just talking about, like, it's odd that, all these people are starting to get COVID when, 85% of the province vaccinated, and then boom, it just started blowing up. And I was like, That's kind of weird. Like, why? What kind of algorithm is out there that people are actually watching this when you can see me fly a drone over some beautiful landscaped area
Right.
by talking about stupidity? And it's just
TikTok.
like, and then of course that guy's like, oh, you gotta be on my podcast or whatever. And I was just like, oh man, maybe this is something I should start getting into. I feel kind of bad. You guys got, you got the Prepper Trifecta and then Rule the Wasteland. I'm gonna have to, start my own, maybe like Don't Eat Donuts Alone or
Yeah, you got to up your game.
Yes.
You're never drinking alone when God's watching.
Right.
Something stupid like that.
I like it.
Yeah. Lonelyguys.com with Daniel. Yeah.
Work. Fuck it. I'm wearing a house coat today.
It's just swap out that last meme at the bar. Put Daniel as
right.
Put his face on with the beard at the bar. Hey, I've got it. Yeah. Yes, Eric, go ahead.
No, that's it. I was keep going.
I got another scenario, folks. I'd like to hear more from the feedback from the audience with respect to these scenarios. This is particularly a good one, I think. It's a great segue from the raccoon. So here it is. Scenario. You've got a raccoon or dog that you have to eat. Raccoon is a regular size, so we'll just say, what are they? 10 pounds, 15 pounds. Or so you could either eat the raccoon, you've got to kill it, gut it. SHTF has happened. It's acceptable to be eating pets and whatnot. Not to suggest that a raccoon is a pet. So the option A is to eat a raccoon. We'll be generous. We'll say 15-pound raccoon, or you can choose to eat a family pet that is 100-pound dog. Which one do you choose? Obviously, in one context, you get a lot more protein, but in the other, the flip side is the fact that you're eating a dog over something that's probably a little bit more, I would say, easier, perhaps. I think some people may think it would be easier to eat a raccoon compared to a dog. Which would you choose?
Yeah, I'd say if it was my pet, I'd for sure go with the raccoon. If it wasn't my pet, I have no problem eating a dog. I've never have, but there's no animal that in and of itself I'm like, oh no, I can't eat a blank, as long as it was killed humanely or something. So I would have no problem eating a dog, but I would choose a raccoon if it was my dog. Barring a situation where like the road where there's just, I don't have any food for myself in the foreseeable future or the dog. So the dog's going to absolutely die anyway. Barring that sort of extreme scenario, I would opt for the raccoon.
Good call. Extreme scenario. We'll apply it to Daniel's answer too. Daniel,
well,
what?
I'll tell you what, if it's a shit hit the fan scenario, well, basically, sure, the dog's 100 pounds, but okay, you cook it, you eat it. Now you got 65 pounds of meat that's going to go to spoil because you don't have a fridge, you don't have a freezer, you don't have any way of keeping this food.
I'm going to interject there. You could, in theory, you could go the primitive route. You could use salting, curing, smoking techniques to preserve.
So you're assuming you have some way to preserve it, because like you said, if you don't, you would have maybe 2 or 3 days to eat 60 or 40 pounds of meat and guts or whatever. And also you lose we're not talking about like a 10-pound dog. A 100-pound dog is pretty substantial, guard dog. So you'd lose that element too. That's an asset.
Yeah, definitely the raccoon. Just as you said, it's if it's a dog's going to hear something coming up at it at night. A dog's going to deter some people, especially a 100-pound dog. If you don't have a firearm or any way to protect yourself, I'm not even going to go bother talking to you.
Right.
Excellent.
So definitely the raccoon.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't even consider that factor. They're certainly going to be on your side if you're taking care of them. And I'm going to say with the raccoon, I don't think I could psychologically get over the just eating a dog. Just, ugh.
I mean, I honestly don't think I would have a psychological problem with it. Like, say it's a zombie apocalypse. I'm out, traveling, whatever, and there is a feral or a dog out there. I don't think I would have a problem killing and eating a dog in that scenario. But my dog, of course, I would never do that unless it was absolutely necessary.
Fair. All right. William McCaslin, dog is very strong, just like a cat. Coon is more like beef. Yes, I would say that is the case. I've had raccoon before and an incident. and we'll wind up with a bunch of raccoon meats, we'll say, and very greasy here in Canada. So,
and I don't know about it up there, but the raccoons down that we had back in Florida, they would get up to 30 pounds, sometimes more. So the fat fuckers, yeah.
Oh,
And you can make a cool hat out of a raccoon.
Exactly.
Right? Like, could you imagine a dog hat? Yeah,
that's just poor taste. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the little tail hanging out.
Dog tail. What if it was like one of those with a curl tail too, and the asshole on the back of the head?
Oh, Jesus, terrible.
Tail curls
and if
up.
the dog wasn't looted,
Right, then the balls hanging on the back of your neck. They're like, why did you leave the balls? That's good. That goes back to your dark prepper mindset, or that video you did about acting crazy. If you have like a taxidermied sack on your hat, I don't think people are gonna mess with you on the dog carcass hat that you had.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Jeez, you all right?
We killed him. We killed Jay. Yeah.
Get you there or what?
Yeah.
That was hilarious. That is funny. That reminds me of a meme. I gotta send you an email in a second, but I gotta go off camera. That was too funny, man. Holy shit.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, that was a good one. I think it's also seems to be that everyone in the chat agrees they would eat someone else's dog, but not their own.
No, that could be our new way to boost our memes and stuff. I could start doing our own line of non-neutered dog hats. We could sell them on Wish or Etsy or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Astronomical, amount of money.
Right. Just alongside the planks of wood.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, make a store.
Yeah, you killed him.
Yeah, make a preparedness store with all like the batshit crazy sort of items.
Right.
Dog hat with testicles, you got pieces of wood.
Right.
Hilarious.
25 horsepower generators.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna even look if that's a thing, if they exist. It's gonna be like for a hospital or something.
All right, I gotta be back in a second.
All right, I'm looking up to see if they got a 25 horsepower generator. They have one on Alibaba. Speaking of, this is a massive thing. Looks like it's in the bottom of a fucking tugboat. 25 horsepower generator.
I'm just looking up that
they
wood
do exist. Yeah, right.
Wood block.
Your 25 to 29 horsepower generator engines from powerequipmentdirect.com. There are no products in this category. Okay. I'm sure they exist, but they're, it would be kind of hilarious. Here's a 25 HP water-cooled diesel generator. Now, it might not apply. That's another thing to look in that law. Like I said, I haven't read the text of it. It might not apply to diesel. So if you are in California and you want a generator, it probably is just a gasoline. It might not apply to propane, or I'm sure it doesn't apply to propane, and it might not apply to diesel. So you might be able to get away with having a diesel generator that's still a normal size. But who knows? I'd have to go back and read the actual text of that law.
That just blows my mind.
Yeah, it's insane. Still, you alive?
I'm still cracking up. I don't think I've laughed so hard on this show before. I was just thinking outside the box here. You could get really wild and get a variety of different animals. Just have like a segment of various animal testicles. It's like a trophy, right?
Yeah, like all around a necklace or something. Like, what happened to ears and teeth?
Holy cow! Yeah, people certainly would not bug you then.
No,
and that's one approach, like you said, to the dark pepper mindset, that just to give the illusion of being crazy.
Yeah, right. And, the illusion.
Yes.
Like I have all these balls around my neck to make people think I'm crazy. They're like, well, it's working. Oh,
All right. All right, I'm out. It's 10. That's too fun. Done. Let's sign
Actually,
off, buddy.
I got
I can't keep it together here.
I got a bit of a question for you. So if I wanted
right.
to, you know how we always get new preppers into different groups and stuff like that, and they're always asking, hey, you know, what should I put in a bug out bag? What do I, you know, all this good stuff. I was thinking myself, you know, I got a lot of supplies and stuff, and if I wanted to maybe put together bug out bags for beginners, you know, you got a bag, you got a life straw, you know, a couple rations, some shelter,
A Rule the
you know,
Wasteland
throw a knife.
survival fishing kit.
Yeah,
course.
just oh, yeah. Nice plug, nice plug.
Yeah.
You know what would be a what would be an acceptable price for asking for something like that? You know, like, you know,
That's a good question. I mean, I think you could have ones that were acceptable at various price points depending on what's in them. Like, I think it would be possible to sell a $500 bag if it had that kind of value. But I think there'd be more people. I think you could certainly find a market in like the $100 range, I would guess. But it'd be tough to make it like a complete bag at only $100.
Yeah. Because if you throw, you know, you throw a couple freeze dried rations, well, not, you know, depending on what kind of ration that is, you know, that could be $30. You throw a life straw in, that's another, you know, in Canada, they're $25,
right,
plus tax. You know, you throw
I
in.
think I would start workshopping it. You know, make a couple different variations of the stuff, see what the price is. But I think it definitely like the 100 for sure. I think it'd be just to make the bag good. You'd probably need to go up to like 199 at least would be my guess. And that's American dollars, would be even more Canadian. But I'm guessing
5,000.
Yeah, right, something like that. But I think you could definitely make one that you could sell for 199, 249, somewhere in that range if it was legit. You know,
right?
That could actually be useful as a bug out bag.
You'd have to break it down to different sections or tiers, maybe like bronze, silver, gold, or something like that, and then cross that with time. So here's your 24-hour bug out bag, or here's your 1 week long, and then you can justify. You know, I don't know how you do a bug out bag for $100, but you know, sure,
it'd be tough.
There, a couple hundred for the first entry level, then get up to 1,000, and you know, there's people willing to spend that kind of money,
right? Because part of it's the work, you know, they don't know. So if like, okay, you actually put together a good one, they'll be like, okay, good, it's all there. I don't have to start trying to buy all this stuff separately, if it's good or not, you know, because there's all sorts of little kits on Amazon that are just utter garbage, you know, for $50-$60, and it's all flea market crap. So those are selling. So I'm sure you could sell a legit one for a couple $100 at least.
Yeah, especially with your background, Daniel, and assuming this is something you're looking at doing yourself, because there's the problem with prepper. I would say the problem, but you know, a lot of these people online, or you know, you've been to my events, real person. These people that show up, they're foot's halfway in the door. They're kind of weekend warriors, and they'll purchase stuff, and because it was recommended, they don't get their hands dirty. A lot of I think the intent's there, but people don't know. They don't know what a good knife is, or a good you know, insert gear or life straw. That's a good piece of gear for water filtration, but a lot of people don't know that. You could get some crap aftermarket stuff from China, put that in the bag, and here you go, right? And people's like, you know, here we go. So if it was me and I had $1 million, I would, you know, I really wanted to do this, I would get a celebrity or something to co-sign on it. And we see this now with even with crappy survivalists like Bear Grylls. No disrespect to Bear Grylls fans, but this guy has been pointed out that we can talk about him in a second. But you know, you put his name on there, and it's abracadabra. It's suddenly it's a good piece of gear or bag or whatever it is, right? It's because it's got that brand awareness. So
I think definitely if I'm out in Ontario, this hopefully with a little bit of luck I am, especially for that thing in July.
Yes,
I might make up, you know, 5 or 6 bags, because you know I have all the gear in my little bunker that I'm sitting in right now. So I'm sure I could you know, kind of build something where, you know, and then I'll bring them
prototype.
Up, you know,
yeah. And the good thing is that if you find out that they do sell, once you start being able to like buy the stuff in large quantities, you'll actually be able to offer it at a price that would actually be cheaper for them to buy your bag than it would be for them to go and buy all that same stuff
Well,
individually.
exactly.
So it's not only is
Definitely.
it worth it just to have you curate it and get all that stuff and they'll say, okay, I trust him, so I know this is a legit bag. It'll actually be cheaper too.
Yeah.
Not only that, you certainly come with a reputable or credible background, so you'd have no issue. Spring 10, you'd have no issue selling those at my events in July. So good thinking.
And maybe what I could do is throw in a free dog hat. And,
yeah. Well, somebody
the dog hat is $2.99. The bug out bag is free with it.
Ah, shit, man. You know, I'm gonna have to Google that after this is done.
To see if they exist.
Destiny suggested a sombrero, so I guess you'd have like a big hat with all the balls hanging off the edge of it.
Yeah,
which would be different. We are at the mark. Listen, folks, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, I guess we'll hang on here for a few minutes to answer them. If you want to get into the live chat, if you're looking for more information from me, Patreon is where it's at. That's where I have the most fun. So it's Prepper Logic under Patreon, and you have more intimate, special one-on-one communications with me there. If you're inclined, Daniel, do you care to be found by the web?
Yeah, sure. If anybody wants to, ask questions on Facebook, Daniel Gray Owen. If you're on TikTok, my TikTok name is Gray Sox Productions. That's a long story.
Let's go stop there for a second. Is it prepper related, or is it you like playing with your beard? What is it? What's your TikTok?
No. Well, basically, lately I've been doing a lot of stuff. Talking about COVID and how I stand with the unvaxxed, because I am double vaxxed. I had to get it done. But when things really happened, I will stand with the unvaxxed if it comes down to it, because we're all the same. It's the government and the media that are trying to push us away. So, but if anybody wants to get a hold of me on Facebook, I'm more than happy to answer any questions and kind of go from there. Maybe I'll get my own prepper chat and talk about stuff. Cool. And so I could actually feel like next to you guys that have your own stuff going on.
Well, right. I think we got to make you a regular. You're certainly fitting in quite well. So I want to comment something here that Destiny wrote. It says, saw that JJ sold out with the prepper food. I don't know. I haven't seen any of JJ's content recently. What I will say is that for those that don't know, JJ Johnson runs a YouTube channel called Reality Survival. And he was the original host or the creator. He came up with the concept, the founder of the Prepper Trifecta concept. I came up with the name, the Prepper Trifecta. And as far as a survivalist or prepper or whatever you want to define him as, he's the real deal. And look at the guy selling buckets of food on the side.
Well, in that video that you're talking about that he just did, he even said they just sent that to him for free. He's not even an affiliate. So he just did a video on it. They're like, hey, you want this? Do a video. He's like, okay. So
even if, that kind of changes things a little bit. But even if it was the case where he was,
I have no problem with it. If it was,
he'd have every damn right to, because of what he's done for the community and what he's.
And he's an affiliate for others, for other things, and he's always been open about it. And I have no. In fact, I think obviously there's people who go off the deep end and just want to get on there just to have people buy whatever through their link. But I do think it's helpful for people who are legit to say, hey, this is the stuff that I think is good, because we all have to get this stuff. So, and if someone's going to make a percentage through that, I have absolutely no problem with that.
Absolutely. And, people are doing this because they're passionate about the topic, and God forbid they want to make a few bucks on the side. And, as Eric was just saying, there's some people that it's obvious they're all about the promotion of the product.
Right.
I'm not going to say who. But then there's, guys like JJ that have a real passion for this topic. And you know what? You're gonna give him flack for having hey, you want to buy this product, or I did a review. Right. It's not 100% of his content. Just go back to his earlier stuff. The guy's a SEER instructor. He's, he's a real survivalist.
He's legit.
and you're absolutely right. There are people out there that just want to make a quick buck. Me, on the other hand, when I did that radio thing for everybody, and people are like, "Hey, listen, can I have this? Can I have your lesson plan, or can I have other lesson plans that you've done? I'll pay you for it." I'm like,
Right.
to me, knowledge is power. The more of us out there that know, how to handle yourself is going to be the better, because it's one of those things. And then when I was giving out prizes for right answers and stuff, and people were like, "Oh my God," like, I was giving out some rations, or a life straw, or just a couple cool things. And it's, for me, I just think the more people that know, the better. And people that try to make money on disasters is, they're going to be the first to go in my mind anyway. But that's just my take on everything.
Yeah, probably. I don't disagree.
Daniel, you want to come back in 2 weeks?
Sure, buddy.
Awesome.
2 weeks.
Let's do it.
Wait, what is
Yeah,
that?
definitely.
I might be out of town. I'm doing some traveling. So 2 weeks is the 2nd.
Yes.
I might not be here. So let me confirm with you guys later, but it'll be 2 or 3 weeks for me, because we're going out of town for New Year's. So I'm not sure if we probably will be back Sunday night, but I'm not 100%. So just check the website. Anyone watching, check preppertrifecta.com. We should have it up there within a few days, what the next time will be. I'll talk to you guys
I'll
about
put
it.
it for preppertrifecta.com. I'll put it up right now, and I actually have it on the website. This is live prepper discussions every other or third Sunday, depending on how we feel.
Right.
So there you go. It's could be 2 weeks, could be 3 weeks. Who knows?
Sounds
Ladies
good.
and gentlemen, that was hilarious. Thanks for joining us.
it's
Jay,
fun.
I'm signing off. Daniel,
Take
thanks,
care.
brother.
Yeah.
Will do.
And we will see all you guys.